Hey guys, Eli here, and on this video I want to talk about how you can actually save up $50,000 real fast.
Well, I have an idea.
Well, technically, it all depends on your environment, the situation you're in. But if you have a good environment, you could possibly do it in just a year. Now, on this video, I'm just gonna be talking about my experience on how I actually did it. It actually took me, about 2 years to actually get to that point. So everything I'm gonna share with you guys today is from the eyes of me, my perspective. And we're starting now. If you guys love to talk about personal finance and mindset and you want to help support the Urban Lifestyle channel, make sure you start now by hitting that thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also comment some of your thoughts down in the comments below. And just for you hitting the thumbs up, here's a video of me and my son racing a go-kart. He was driving, I was just a passenger. All right, so getting into this story, saving up $50,000. Like I said before, it could be done fast, it could take some time. It took me 2 years, it could possibly take the average person maybe 5 years. Now, and I'm not saying that I'm above average. I know that's what it sounds like, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the environment I'm in put me in the best situation to actually achieve that. Now, $50,000 is not that much money. I just wanna start off with that. It's really not.
It's not? Well, Eli, why don't you tell me where you live?
But one of the first things that I believe is very crucial, and this is something very new, you guys never heard this before. I guarantee you never heard this before. And the first thing that you would have to make sure you got to do,
Wait, let me get a pen and paper. I want to write this down. All right, I'm ready.
is setting up a budget.
Oh my gosh. Heard this before.
But you heard that before? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I thought it was like not common sense, but it turns out it is common sense. When it comes to your budget, you have to make sure you have more money coming in than you have going out. And if you don't have more money coming in than you have coming out, then you have to cut back. I have a piece of paper right here that goes daily that shows exactly how much money I make for the day and how do I separate it. Some for bills and some for investments, some for crypto and some for debt. I keep it in the forefront of my mind each and every day to make sure I follow that budget strictly. And I've been doing this for the past 3 years already. And I find it funny that ever since I created a budget and strictly followed it, that my finances was just 10 times better. But hey, maybe that's just me, because millions of people heard this information. I was just the one that actually heard that information about budgeting and actually followed it, and it works for me. Now, of course, it didn't work the first month or the first 2 months or the first 3 months or the first 4 months, maybe that even first year. But the fact that I strictly followed that budget each and every time I had a chance, it worked out in the long run. So it's not just creating a budget, follow it for 1 month, and oh man, it doesn't work. F it, let me not do it no more. Now, if you are part of that few people that's actually gonna commit to making a budget and following it, if you find yourself in a situation where you really can't cut back, the next thing you gotta do is actually get your money up.
That's my cue.
A lot of people found that their income really boosts up by just switching a job. At one point, I was making $15,000 a year. Oh my gosh, how did I live like that? Wow, 15,000? And I thought I was, anyways, I found myself making $15,000 a year. I switched industries, switched the whole job, went to a whole new job, and then I went to making $30,000 a year. Well, 35. Yeah, 35. So I practically raised my income by 50% with just one decision. Now, aside from budgeting, something that you really have to do as well is you gotta know your end game, but focus on the first step.
Okay, the end game is your house. The first step is, where is it?
Not focus on the end game, focus on the first step. Now, let's say $50,000 was the end game. You wanna save up to $50,000. But my first step was just, hey, $10,000. For some, it may be $1,000. Once I got to that first $10,000, I celebrated. I was as happy as if I just saved up to $50,000. So I got to that $10,000. My next focus was the next step, which was 20. Then once I get there, celebrate again. Now the next step was 30. Got there. Okay, next step is 40. Got there. All right, close enough, but let's go to 50. End game. Boom. reached it. Now, the third thing you must know, of course, I 100% believe that savers are losers.
Wait, what? Savers are losers? This whole video's about saving, my guy. So that means you're setting us up to lose, man.
I realized earlier on that inflation is gonna eat the money that I save. So I can save $10,000 by next year. The purchasing power will probably be $9,500. Now, I honestly didn't want that, so I decided to put my money into a place that earns interest, but at the same time, I had to get a little bit creative as well. I had friends that I fully trust. I'm not a financial advisor, I wanna say this. So don't do what I did. I just said, hey, I wanna get a little creative. So I had friends that I truly trust that when they wanted to borrow money, I'll lend them money. And they just gotta pay me back with a little bit of interest, you know?
Eli, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that to friends.
Well, yeah, you may be right, but the bank does that to everybody. Check Cash in Place or Check Advance or Amscot, they do that to everybody. So why can't I do that? So I had to find a way to not just have my money just sit there and devalue over time. I had to find a way to have that money work for me. Now that I got all that out the way, exactly how did I do it? Well, first thing is, I wasn't alone. Me and my wife, after we set our budget, we decided to create our own business where we can create extra income outside of my income. And my income that I got from the job was only, we made sure our lifestyle did not surpass the income that I was making. Which means the money that I was making, if it was this much, I made sure our lifestyle was this much. And me and my wife, we saved the rest. On top of that, whatever she was making from our business, she was in charge of a business until I got laid off or whatever. Whatever she was making from her business, we kept and saved 100% of that. So my job was paying all the bills while we created our own business, and that was just purely saved. Now, some of you guys may be saying, okay, Eli, but what if I'm single? What would you do if you were single? Now, before me and my wife met, I actually saved up my first $10,000 before her. I just made sure my lifestyle didn't surpass my income. Since I was just by myself, no kids, no nothing, I was able to manage what I was paying for. And I went with a 70-20-10 plan. 70% of my income paid for my lifestyle, even though at that time it was actually 50% of my income that paid for my lifestyle. But let's just keep it simple. 70% would have paid for my lifestyle, 20% I would have paid off debt, and 10% I was saving. And that 10% over time accumulated to $10,000. Now you may be saying, Eli, you was making $15,000 a year. You just admitted that. So how did you make $10,000 in a short time? Well, honestly, before I met my wife, I was actually living at my mom's house and I didn't have nothing to pay for but the cell phone. And that's why I say it depends on the situation you're in as well. And that leads me to my second thing. I started extremely early. I didn't have a chance to dig myself into a financial hole. Well, I kind of did, but it wasn't so much where I couldn't just climb out of. My entire debt was about, $3,000 in credit card debt, and that was it. I was easily taken care of. And the last thing that got me to it was I was laser focused. There was nothing that got in my way. The new PlayStation 4 could have came out, and I'm like, never mind. I was laser focused on my goal. I'm talking about if I found pennies on the floor, if I got extra dollar here, I would put it aside. And that's exactly how I got to $50,000. Now, doing that, I kind of realized that, hey, it's gonna take me a long time to actually save up to $1 million.
No, I did it, and it only took me 85 years.
But hey, $50,000 is a great down payment if you want to start off by going on a vacation, or if you want to put a down payment for a house. That's a good way to do it. But if you're looking to save up from 0 to $1 million, that's a totally different strategy. And we don't have time to get to it on this video. Maybe some other video. And if you want to see that, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, hit the notification icon so you guys get future notifications of my future videos. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know some of your thoughts down in the comments below, and have a beautiful day. Who's that knocking?
Hello, Eli.
How are you? Now, being a man of my stature, you have to ask yourself the question, did I buy this mask to make props for YouTube, or did I buy it for a different reason? The world shall never know. Okay, my least favorite wig.
No, I did it, and it only took me
This thing's too short. My hat fell off, guys. I know I'm supposed to be recording right now, but I'm having too much fun here. Hold on, one moment. Oh, come on, I got this. All right, let's try this again. I got a big head. Well, I have. Come on. It's kind of hard to get in that voice. Sorry. Ow! That hurts. Eli, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that to friends. No, I don't do that voice at all. No, I did it, and it only took me. Oh gosh, gotta make sure it's in the right direction, which is that way. All right. Okay, so this one is new, so I gotta pull it off even more. I do want to say it's going to be extremely hard to save up any large amount of money, especially if you're trading your time for money. It's extremely hard to do so. The best way I'll say to do it is stop trading your time for money, or you can still do that. You can still find a job, but at the same time, if you can create an additional source of income and make your extra money and save up that way, it becomes very easier.